Are you ready for the most electrifying behind-the-scenes look at the UFC world right now? Buckle up, because we're diving into jaw-dropping fighter ratings, potential lightweight shakeups, and a heavyweight champion's surprising style choice, all in one place. Following Magomed Ankalaev's notable victory against Alex Pereira, a segment of fans criticized the lack of a highlight reel finish, branding the bout boring. However, Joe Rogan insists there was nothing dull about Ankalaev's approach. In Rogan's view, shutting down one of the division's most lethal strikers through expert distance control and grappling is evidence of a top-tier fighter's skill. He highlights the fact that Ankalaev has proven he can deliver knockouts against stiff competition, yet in this instance, he opted for a clinical game plan that neutralized Pereira's power at nearly every turn. Some observers had speculated that Pereira, fresh off a series of spectacular finishes, was being steered away from the wrestling-savvy Ankalaev. When the two finally clashed, Ankalaev showcased just how formidable he can be when employing the patient, methodical style favored by many elite fighters from Dagestan. Rather than trading bombs, Ankalaev focused on minimizing risk and scoring effectively. According to Rogan, the bout underlined Ankalaev's adaptability. He knows when to push forward aggressively and when to rely on strategy. Despite the criticism, Rogan contends that true MMA fans should appreciate the subtleties of a tactical triumph. With talk of a possible rematch, the question remains whether Ankalaev could replicate such dominance or whether Pereira would adjust his approach.
Talking UFC, we were talking about how exciting the Ankalaev and Pereira fight was, even though people didn't like it because it wasn't like some crazy result, a giant knockout like you get in most Pereira fights, but it was so technical. And Ankalaev just did a fantastic job of shutting down the scariest guy in the division. Well, it was so interesting because the consequences of
the showdown between Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett has generated major buzz, yet every MMA fan knows unexpected hurdles, like injuries or weight cut mishaps, can derail even the most anticipated bouts. Sensing the chance for a breakout opportunity, lightweight fighter Mauricio Ruffy has offered to step in if either competitor withdraws. Fresh off an electrifying knockout victory over Bobby Green, Ruffy has shown he can deliver the big moments that get fans talking. Although he's not yet a ranked contender, his highlight reel finishes have made him an intriguing figure. At the same time, Jared Gordon, who lost a razor-thin decision to Pimblett, is campaigning for a rematch if Chandler has to pull out. Many pundits believed Gordon deserved the nod in their first meeting, and the thought of settling unfinished business on a massive pay-per-view card clearly appeals to him. He openly manifested the possibility of stepping in, citing his readiness to make weight on short notice. If the UFC is forced to call upon a replacement, they'll have at least two eager lightweights waiting in the wings. Whether it's Ruffy or Gordon, there's no shortage of fighters looking to seize the spotlight, and this kind of contingency plan keeps fans excited about potential twists in the fight card.
After that, real quick,
told April.
Miami, I assume.
I doubt it, unless my teammate Chandler falls off the card and I get my rematch with Paddy. I've been manifesting it. No offense to Mike, he's my buddy, and that's how opportunities come about, and you have to seize the moment. So I mean, of course, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, of course. Like,
Despite widespread talk that Michael Chandler will finish him with his trademark power, Paddy Pimblett believes his recent improvements will catch people off guard. He openly acknowledges that his striking wasn't world-class during the Bobby Green fight, yet he insists those days are behind him. Now, Pimblett is convinced that Chandler won't even get close enough to land a fight-ending blow, claiming he's developing the footwork and technique to negate one-shot knockouts. Fans often credit Chandler's explosive style, which features quick bursts and highlight-worthy KOs, yet Pimblett says he spent countless hours refining his own striking arsenal. He's teased that he'll outpace Chandler with superior movement, feints, and a more disciplined shot selection. If he's right, Pimblett could upend the narrative of him simply being an energetic personality rather than a polished technician. His confidence stems from a camp focused on bridging the gap between his grappling strengths and striking. Will confidence translate into actual advantage in the cage? Skeptics point to Chandler's proven finishing ability and years of experience. For Pimblett, however, this showdown is about declaring a new era in the lightweight division, one where the brash up-and-comer outperforms the established contender.
Also nice to size Chandler up. Like, a lot of people were surprised at how much bigger I am than him when I knew I was going to be that much bigger than him. I'm going to show everyone that the old guard's on the way out and the new guard's coming in. Funny, everyone's saying try and knock me out. I don't think he's going to get near me on the feet. Everyone thinks Mike's just going to come out and knock me out, lad, and I won't stand with him. Just like everyone thought they wouldn't stand with Bobby Green, but the striking's got so much better since the Bobby Green fight. And
Dana White has often criticized the fragmented state of boxing, yet he's also been vocal about his admiration for its rich history. Now, he's throwing his hat into the ring by partnering with Saudi Arabia's Turki Al Shaq to form TKO Boxing, a promotion aimed at revamping the sport with a league-style format resembling the UFC. Early announcements promise a streamlined approach, unified matchmaking, a clear hierarchy, and an emphasis on making top talents face each other regularly. The move has drawn attention from established promoters, including Eddie Hearn, who warns that boxing is a merciless industry where deals can crumble overnight. Unlike MMA's leading organization, top-tier boxing typically features massive purses split heavily in favor of star fighters. The biggest test for TKO Boxing may well be how they plan to pay boxers, who often command multi-million-dollar paychecks for marquee matchups. That said, having a powerful financial backer could help TKO Boxing draw big names eager to build legacies under a new banner. Optimists predict that a structured system will bring much-needed organization and consistent showdowns, while skeptics remain unconvinced. Yet the combination of Dana White's promotional skill and deep-pocketed investors could produce a disruptive force that shakes up the entire boxing ecosystem. Widely regarded as a top-tier heavyweight contender, Tom Aspinall recently offered his candid ratings of various UFC notables. Asked to score fighters on a 1 to 10 scale, Aspinall assigned a 7 to Michael Chandler, prompting fans to debate whether the explosive lightweight deserved more. Aspinall justified the rating by pointing out the division's depth and high skill level, emphasizing that a 7 in such a stacked weight class is still impressive. In contrast, Aspinall gave lofty marks to Alex Pereira, 9 for his knockout power, and Dricus du Plessis, 9.5 for his eccentric yet highly effective style. When grading Jon Jones, Aspinall offered a near-perfect 9.5, calling him close to a perfect fighter. Meanwhile, Alexander Volkanovski landed at a 9, recognized for his adaptability and technical acumen. Fans quickly asked where Islam Makhachev might fit into these rankings, noting that he's beaten Volkanovski twice and might also merit a 9.5. For Aspinall, the numbers represent more than just a highlight reel. They reflect fight IQ, adaptability, and consistency under pressure. Such a breakdown from a respected heavyweight contender can ignite spirited discussions among fans, as they wonder how others in the UFC might fare under Aspinall's discerning eye.
Aspinall, and this is me rating the following fighters out of 10.
Yuri Prohaska,
8.5.
Alex Volkanovski,
9.
Michael Chandler,
7.
Alex Pereira,
9.
Dricus du Plessis,
9.5.
As the promotion readjusts its schedule, several intriguing matchups loom on the horizon. Molly McCann is set to face Alexia Tainara in London, a fight where McCann looks to rebound from a recent defeat. Tainara, meanwhile, is making her promotional debut following a victorious stint on Dana White's Contender Series. With each fighter aiming to make a statement, this clash could significantly impact their career trajectories. Additionally, a previously rumored event slated for Qatar on May 17th seems poised to move to the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. Though the Apex often provides a controlled environment for fighters, some fans miss the electric atmosphere of large arenas. Nonetheless, the shift paves the way for key fights. Curtis Blaydes is expected to face Rizvan Kuniev in a heavyweight test that could shift the division's balance, while potential scraps like Johnny Walker versus Azamat Murzakanov have fans excited for more light heavyweight chaos. Relocations and reshuffled lineups are nothing new in MMA, a sport where adaptability is as vital outside the cage as it is inside. With each new venue announcement comes speculation about who may benefit from a quieter, more strategic setting. One thing is certain, the demand for high-level matchups shows no sign of slowing down. Former champion Daniel Cormier often provides clarity on the UFC's most competitive divisions, and the lightweight class is no exception. Since Islam Makhachev sits atop the division with a string of dominant performances, Cormier believes contenders need a clear roadmap to challenge him. He proposes Ilia Topuria as the next title challenger, arguing that the rising star has showcased elite skills and well-roundedness worthy of a championship opportunity. At the same time, Cormier acknowledges that Makhachev has already defended against elite featherweights, such as Alexander Volkanovski, and warns there may be pushback if he faces yet another ex-featherweight in Topuria. According Switching to Cormier, critics might devalue Makhachev's resume by saying he's only stopping smaller fighters. Regardless, Cormier envisions a compelling bracket: Justin Gaethje versus Arman Tsarukyan for top contender status, while Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier square off as well. This structure could streamline an otherwise crowded division, ensuring that each fighter has a path to the belt. Still, some fans argue that Gaethje deserves the next shot after his recent highlight reel performances. For Cormier, it's all about maintaining momentum and letting fresh challengers like Topuria test Makhachev's mettle without letting the division stagnate. Legendary former champion BJ Penn has once again found himself at the center of controversy after posting puzzling videos claiming a woman is impersonating his mother. This unsettling behavior raised immediate alarms among the MMA community, prompting widespread calls for him to seek professional assistance. Jared Gordon, who has been transparent about his own battles with addiction, openly questioned whether Penn may be dealing with serious substance use issues. In the clips, Penn exhibits paranoia and delusion, insisting that there's an imposter infiltrating his family to steal wealth. Fans, fellow fighters, and MMA personalities alike have voiced concern for his well-being, urging immediate intervention. While details remain murky, many suspect a worsening mental health crisis that's gone untreated for too long. Penn has faced legal and personal turmoil in the past, but these recent developments paint an even more troubling picture. Given his legendary status, he once held UFC titles in 2 different weight classes. Seeing Penn in apparent distress underscores how fame and success don't shield individuals from deep-rooted challenges. The hope among his supporters is that he gets the necessary help, avoiding further escalation that could jeopardize his life or the safety of those around him.
What's up, Paul? Huh? Q what? You can only do this because you get the government behind you. You like get crazy. You. This lady right here, look at her ass and legs. She's acting like my 79-year-old mother. But she's not my 79-year-old mother.
With a flourish of social media posts, Jon Jones debuted a haircut inspired by Avatar: The Last Airbender, setting off a mix of praise and ridicule across the MMA world. Detractors quickly took the opportunity to claim that Jones is focusing on gimmicks instead of finalizing a match with Tom Aspinall, the surging heavyweight contender many believe deserves a crack at the title. Memes depicting Jones with a cartoonish arrow on his head quickly circulated, likening him to the show's main character and speculating that he'd be airbending instead of defending his belt. On the flip side, supporters argue that Jones has earned the right to enjoy life and experiment with his appearance. Still, the arrow design became a lightning rod for jokes about him allegedly dodging the toughest fights. Critics accuse Jones of stalling, while fans point out that he's dominated the sport for over a decade and no champion in UFC history has faced continuous top-tier challenges quite like him. Regardless of opinions on his style choices, Jones remains the heavyweight champion, yet the clamor grows louder for him to book a showdown with Aspinall or another serious contender. Whether the haircut is simply a fashion statement or something more symbolic, it's reignited the conversation about Jones's next move. And there you have it, everything from Dana White's boxing ambitions to Jon Jones's latest hairdo and the potential shakeups in the lightweight division. If you enjoyed these updates, be sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment sharing your favorite MMA storyline right now.